A secret that has been quietly brewing for years might be about to erupt into a global crisis. Just recently, former US President Donald Trump made a startling claim. Iran was only weeks away from acquiring a nuclear weapon. Not months, not years, weeks. For a long time, the general belief was that American pressure had set Iran back by decades, that the danger had been delayed, contained. But now, something has changed. On June 29th, in a statement that's been echoing through diplomatic circles, Iran's ambassador to the United Nations declared that his country will never stop. Never. And that single phrase has sent waves of fear through both Israel and the United States. What exactly does it mean? Could Iran be much closer to developing a nuclear weapon than anyone expected? What happens next? And how far are world powers willing to go to stop it? In today's video, we dive deep into what could be one of the most dangerous turning points in recent history. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear may shake the foundations of global stability. Something is building, and you can feel it. While the world's attention drifts from one crisis to the next, there's a storm quietly gathering strength, one that could change everything. Recently, Amir Sayani made a public statement that might seem ordinary on the surface, but carries chilling weight beneath. He declared that Iran's nuclear program is, quote, strictly for peaceful energy purposes, a phrase we've heard before. But this time, it's different. The timing, the context, the silence behind his words. Because all of this is happening just as the President of the United States continues to issue stern, repeated warnings to Tehran. Do not restart your nuclear ambitions. Do not cross that line again. But here's the question. Can you feel it too? That tension just beneath the surface? That sense that something far bigger is about to unfold? Even after Donald Trump's warnings, even after Israel endured devastating losses during this brutal 12-day war, modern-day Persia, today's Iran, seems unshaken, unmoved. They are pressing forward, eyes locked on a future that no longer includes compromise. And if you've been watching closely, you know what that means. Because Iran's refusal to halt its nuclear enrichment isn't just a diplomatic disagreement. It's a signal, a message, one that says we're not backing down. This could be a major turning point, a strategic blow to Israel, a challenge to the West, or the spark of something much, much larger. So ask yourself, where is this headed? Why now? And more importantly, what happens when that line finally gets crossed? Let me know in the comments what you think is really going on behind the scenes. Do you believe Iran's claims of peaceful intentions? Or are we standing on the edge of a confrontation the world isn't ready for? The threat looming over Israel is far from over, and anyone paying close attention can feel it in the air. This isn't just another warning shot. It's not posturing. This feels like the beginning of a new chapter in a conflict that's been quietly escalating in the shadows. And now it's creeping into the light, threatening to pull in nations far beyond just Israel and Iran. Israel, a nation built on resilience, strength, and a fierce sense of survival, now finds itself facing an adversary that plays by entirely different rules. Iran is pushing forward with a confidence that's as bold as it is dangerous, openly defying global pressure, brushing off diplomacy, and ignoring the warnings of the international community. They're not trying to hide anymore. They're testing how far they can go before the world reacts, or before someone decides enough is enough, and that's where this moment turns from tense to terrifying. Because if Israel begins to feel that time is no longer on their side, if they believe that waiting means risking the survival of their people, they may decide that a preemptive strike isn't just a choice, it's a necessity. Think about that. One decision, one strike. That's all it could take to light a fuse that pulls the entire region and maybe even the world into a broader conflict. What would you do if you were in Israel's position? Wait and hope? Or act first and risk everything? Let's talk about it. Drop your thoughts in the comments. Do you believe this situation can still be resolved through diplomacy, or have we already crossed a line that can't be uncrossed? Right now, we are witnessing a dramatic and dangerous military buildup unfolding across the Middle East, an escalation that's no longer hidden behind political speeches or quiet intelligence reports. It's real, it's happening, and it's growing faster than most people realize. And here's the thing, when Israel makes a major move, and it's no longer a question of if, but when, the United States won't be able to stay on the sidelines, because history has shown us time and time again, when Israel acts, America follows. Like two pieces of the same puzzle locked in a decades-old alliance, one can't move without the other being pulled along. And with former President Donald Trump making it crystal clear that Iran must never be allowed to regain nuclear capability, the stakes just became even higher. So what does this all mean for the rest of us? For those of us watching from afar, far from the borders, far from the missiles and negotiations, it means we're standing at the edge of something bigger, something that feels almost prophetic, like a collision the world has been moving toward for years. Peace in the Middle East, once a distant but possible hope, now seems more like a fading illusion, slipping further away with every headline, every threat, every defiant statement. And for those who believe, for those with faith in something greater, this isn't just politics or strategy. It's a wake-up call, a sign, a moment to pay attention, not just with our eyes, but with our hearts. Because while governments prepare for war, maybe it's time the rest of us prepare for something deeper. What do you think is coming next? Is there still a path to peace, or are we watching the early moments of something that's been written long ago? Let me know your thoughts in the comments. This is a conversation the world needs to have before it's too late. Take a moment and really think about what we're living through right now. This isn't just political tension. This isn't just the usual headlines we've grown numb to. What we're witnessing feels deeper, heavier. Like the ground beneath us is shifting. We're not just watching world events unfold. We're witnessing what many believe are the birth pains of the end times. This isn't about if something is coming. That question is long behind us. The only question now is, how soon? How close are we to the moment when everything changes? Because look at what's happening. Iran isn't slowing down. Despite the warnings, despite the airstrikes, despite the pressure from the global community, they're pushing forward at full speed, as if nothing and no one can stop them. And if that's the case, then what we've just seen in recent weeks, those bombings, those threats, that tension in the air, that wasn't the climax. It wasn't the end. It was only the beginning. So now, more than ever, I say this with all sincerity, pray. Prepare your heart, your mind, your soul, not out of fear, but out of wisdom. Because if these are the signs of what's to come, we need to be spiritually ready. We need to wake up, stop scrolling past these warnings, and start asking ourselves what really matters. May God bless you all. Stay alert, stay grounded, and above all, stay faithful. Let me know in the comments. Do you feel it too? That this moment is different? That something bigger is unfolding before our very eyes?